Hey guys, this is Bao, and today we're going to do something a little bit different from the normal. Instead of me playing a game today, we're actually just going to practice some tactics by doing some tactical puzzles or chess puzzles, and yeah. We'll just see what kind of analysis we can do as we solve these puzzles, and maybe learn a couple things about good chess playing. The reason why I wanted to do this is because after this weekend of playing a bunch of games, I realized that some of my best games have often happen thanks to tactical thinking and such. So today I wanted to see if maybe studying a bit of tactics can truly help deepen our chess knowledge. And I mean, that's a very vague way to say it. Of course it does. Tactics, I feel like, are one of the key foundational pieces to the puzzle of becoming better at chess. It's kind of like the unit blocks before you can have good strategies, and good strategies are built on the pieces of openings and tactics and good awareness of the board. And by doing chess puzzles, you get to practice a lot of those things. So anyway, let's just start off, and let's see how many we end up doing. I'm hoping maybe we'll do about 20 minutes worth of puzzles and see how good we feel about that. And I might end sooner, I don't know. But let's see. Yeah, I hope the audio sounds pretty good today. I finally got a pop filter for my mic. And part of the reason why I got a pop filter is, of course, because of the hard consonants. But for some reason I was thinking to myself that if I got a pop filter, it would also solve my problems with the breathing directly into the mic issue. And as you guys might guess, obviously it didn't. So, but I hope the audio sounds better. And again, today we have some royalty-free music. And if you guys have any suggestions for how to get good music on my channel, please feel free to suggest away, because I don't know how long I can just handle royalty-free music. But anyway, enough about the video production itself. Let's get into the puzzle. So what I like to do when I first start looking at chess puzzle is first do a count. I think that's always a good place to start. So let's start out by counting the pawns. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So I have 6 pawns on the black side, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 pawns on the white side, and if we look at the structures for both sides, black's pawns are all over the place. I mean, this is the only real pawn duo that I feel isn't even close to having some kind of safe potential between each other. This is almost a hanging pawn here, thanks to this knight on b4. At least this pawn is safe, but it would be pretty easy to shoo off this knight and then just take this pawn. A lot of pawns are in kind of precarious situations, but the benefit that black does have is that his pawns are a bit farther up the board. He has 4 pawns that are very close to the middle of the board, whereas with white, these are the 2 real potential pawns I see of maybe perhaps becoming pass pawns, or at least getting to the other side to become promoted. These 3 pawns are obviously the shield for the king there, and then these pawns over here are not really part of the puzzle right now, and because of this we have a double pawn on this rank. Alright, now that we have the pawns calculated, let's take a look at the major pieces. Both of us have the queens, and both of us seem to have our rooks. And from this position, it looks like our rooks are a little better developed. I can definitely see some kind of potential of some kind of double attack going on here. Whereas one of his rooks is kind of defending a pawn from the back corner. I guess kind of guarding the back row there. Or the back file, I guess. Wait. Back rank. Sorry. Files. Ranks. Right. So he's defending the back rank. And this pawn, again, is blocked because of this. This is the only rook in the game that has an open file right now. So he's a pretty happy rook, I'm guessing. I mean, I could definitely see something like rook g2, rook g6, and then rook g1, and then boom, we have two rooks already versus one rook. And sure, he's defending here, but maybe playing something over here could push the king away. I'm not saying that's the move we want to make. I'm just saying I see a lot of potential between the rooks here. Finally, we want to look at the minor pieces. Right now, black has 2 minor pieces where we only have 1 minor piece. Sadly, this black bishop isn't controlling a lot right now. He's stunted in growth because of all of these pieces together, and this pawn on f6 is really hampering him down. But thanks to this our white pawn on f5, this f6 pawn of blacks isn't going to be moving anytime soon. Maybe if something like this happens, then we could see some potential action. But that's 1, 2, 3 different actions have to happen before this bishop can really get into the game. Okay, and then his knight. His knight is potentially looking at these squares right now. Or maybe a better way would be to do this. And that's pretty cool because there are some potentials of like knight over here to take that, but again, because of these pawns, he's not going to get to that square anytime soon. Potentially there's at least this pawn is defended thanks to that, so I can't take with that one. But I can take this, but then the rook would come. So there's a lot of tricky things going on. Alright, so now, finally that we've kind of calculated the boards, assessed where the pieces are. Oh, and then I forgot to assess the queens. This is where the queen controls on the black side. Whereas on the white side, it's these are the control spots that she kind of controls. And so now that we've assessed the board, let's try to figure out some tactics. So in this position, he's up a minor piece. It would be nice by the end of this chess puzzle, of course, if we are putting him into some kind of checkmate, that's good. But if we are ending up just getting a piece ahead maybe, or becoming even in pieces, that would be nice. Potentially, I would hope that we are a piece ahead by the end of this, be it a minor or a major piece. So let's think in those terms. Okay. So first thing I see immediately is taking that bishop. King takes. Rook comes onto g1. And then rook comes onto g6. And then pawn on f5 takes rook on g6. But honestly, after I do this, king could just move away. Oh, however, if king does move away, then queen can take. So let's see other ways of moving. So let's say king takes, rook g1. Let's say king goes to h7. If king h7, if king h7, if king h7, rook to g6, king can take. I feel like there's a line there, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. This is not easy, too. This is boggling my mind. Let's see here. Let's try... What if rook goes to g6? Rook goes to g6. Rook has to take. Rook comes, rook takes. Well, I'm SOL, right? So that's not the right move. No, no, no. I honestly think it has to do with the rook coming up first. Rook... Oh, no! Misclick, misclick. That doesn't count. Alright, let's try that again. Let's try that again. Rook takes on bishop, king takes rook, king moves over there, queen takes, king takes, rook over here, king moves over there, king's free to go wherever he wants, really. Another potential that I just saw right now, because of this pawn, is the potential of knight takes on a4, rook takes on a4. I have nothing good after that. Because I see this here. It's almost a fork, but it's not a very good fork because of this knight. He can just attack right back. Just right back. So that doesn't seem like the right move. Yeah. This is a bit harder than I usually anticipate on these kind of ones. And honestly, I mean, I also see queen e6 check, but then queen takes and then pawn takes. King has to move away. Question is, how does king move away? King could take, rook takes, and we'd be up a minor piece, or I mean we'd be even on minor pieces. That's not very much. I feel like this queen is supposed to be here to block the king, but I'm really having a hard time figuring out how we're supposed to do this puzzle. Potentially, queen takes on h6, rook comes on g6, but that's not really a move, especially after I've lost my queen. That doesn't quite add up. I really thought the first puzzle on easy was going to be a lot easier, but I'm stumped. I'm stumped. I see this trade here doesn't seem too bad. But what happens after king takes? Rook can take, but we'd just be even on pieces at that point. That's not really a great place to be. What happens if queen goes e6 check, queen takes e6, pawn takes e6, king takes e6. King takes e6, and then rook to e1 check. He can go here. He can go here. There's still a lot of freedom for the king. I think the king's way too open for us to anything at that point. What about queen takes e7? Queen takes e7 check. King takes e7. Rook to e1 check. Can't go on any of this file. He can move to this file. Yeah, no, I mean, once he's over on this area, he's pretty free. I honestly think keeping this queen here is part of the puzzle, and somehow we have to bring this king either over here or here. To do that, the rook move seems to be the right move. So rook takes bishop on g7, king takes rook g7, rook on g1, and this is where it gets tricky. King can move. What happens if king moves to rook, king, check. King moves to f8. Oh man, have we already used up all of the music? Man, this is hilarious. We might end up just only playing one tactic tonight, which is fine with me. I'm okay. I enjoy doing these kind of weird studies, and I'm not very good at studying anyway. So this is probably amateur hour for a lot of you guys. You're probably yelling at the computer by now, but this is kind of fun. Let me put on some other music though, because music helps me think. Let's see. Let's try listening to some Haydn. Okay. Let's try the idea of g6 again. Rook takes, rook. No, that doesn't work. Oh, I'm sorry. Rook takes, pawn takes, check. King has to. Alright, I'm kind of liking where we're going with this. Okay, alright. And then rook check. And squares wise at that point, he has this. He can't go here, he can't go there. He can't go on h6 or h7, so he has to go back to f7. But then where is the rook supposed to go from there? I just don't see anything good after that. Pawn's gone. Can't check without being taken. That is... Oh, am I completely an idiot? I am a complete idiot. Oh boy. I see where I was getting the line wrong. I missed this pawn on f6 completely. I take there, king takes. If I do this and he does this, then I can just do this check. And then... Wait, what? Well, that leaves us in a fairly similar situation. What happens if I... oh, I guess That's interesting. Now I can do this. And then, yeah, at this point, we're in a pretty shady position. Check. There's not much that can be done here. Oh, that's really stupid of me. That pawn makes all of that possible. Shoo shoo. Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that. Of course, as soon as he does that. Either of these moves is fine. I've taken that rook. No wonder. I just... Oh my goodness. If I had seen the rook and I had taken it, then I'd be up. Yeah, I'd be up. I've taken both of his rooks and his bishop. I'm up 2 minor pieces. We're equal on rooks. Oh no, I haven't taken both of his rooks. I've just taken a rook and a bishop. But yeah, we'd be in a fairly decent place, especially because after this, wherever he moves, yeah, this is turning out to be quite... Well, I let him walk away, I guess, but I've just taken his other rook. So this would be a pretty losing game for him. Okay. Well, that was a big dum-dum on my head. Didn't realize how important this pawn was. Just shows that I need a lot more practice. Alright, well, let's go back to this. I shouldn't have hit back. It's gonna make me solve it all over again. At this point, I just check, and there we go. Alright. Well, that was good. I'm very stupid. Hopefully, maybe this endgame one will be a little easier. Okay, so let's check this out. I just realized something. If I want to keep on making these videos and use royalty-free music, what I should probably do is at some point just find a bunch that I actually do like and just make a playlist so that we always have something to go by. But anyway, let's get back to the tactics and do the counting of the pawns. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So 5 pawns on black side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on white side. So he's up a pawn. And structure-wise, I'm digging what's going on here. He's got some pawns on the white square. This bishop can't do anything. These guys are going to be moving at some point. Looks pretty good. I'm guessing, if something like this happens, then, there's a lot of potential for pawn movement on black side. Meanwhile, on this side, it's iffy. Let's look at the major pieces. Black has 2 major pieces right now. And then, minor piece-wise, I have the minor piece advantage. So, looks like at this point, black is moving his pawn forward, defending this rook here, and this rook is going to be a real pain, but I see the most obvious potential here. First, I see this check. Let's see what happens if he does this. King moves there. So rook to d8 check, king to f7, rook to d7, and then the king can just zigzag over to me onto king to e8, threatening to take my rook, and then where am I left with? And what with this position right now, my king is in a very precarious position. If I don't do a very strong forcing move in the next couple of moves, I see check here, can't go there, has to move there, right? Check over here, And that looks pretty bad. Can't go there, can't go there, can't go there, can't go there, can't go there. I guess I could just take his. But yeah, it's still very punishing, I think. So I feel like I have to do some kind of very strong forcing move at this point. But the question is how. The easiest method I see is this check here. But as I said, if he goes here, and then I check again. Yeah, I don't see anything so far. Check. Check on D8. King 2. Let's take another look at some other different lines. For instance, let's take a look at this line. Moving the G5 pawn. Pawn on F6 takes G5. Then we can take that square. Yeah, I don't really see the potentials there. Then he forces this. Forces H7 to H6, creating Luft. And then check. And then he takes. Then he moves over there. He's safe. Safe as a kitten. Yeah, I don't really see good moves. All right. Oh, I failed the puzzle. Oh, I took the wrong way. That's really silly. And then I go here, and that's check. Mate. Very confused about that puzzle. Let me go to the analytics board. I'm not sure why he would do that. That's a really very dumb move. Because this is... Oh, that's checkmate. I didn't see that checkmate. That was the problem. That's why he had to block there. I see. So he was just trying to delay the checkmate, and I didn't see that checkmate. So that was a fault on my side. That checkmate is not in my repertoire, but now I know. That's a very good one. Ah, this is pretty embarrassing. I'm losing so badly to these easy tactics, but it's definitely making me think, so I'm pretty happy about that. Alright, let's do a final one. I'm getting pretty tired here, and I'm not very good at these, but just shows that I need a lot more practice, obviously. And I'm having a lot of great fun just talking this through. Generally, when I do this by myself, I end up kind of talking through these by myself in my head. And so sometimes I don't get to really kind of concretely think these things through. So it definitely helps having somebody else to talk through. Okay, so we're on white side again, and let's just do the pawn count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're even on pawns. I definitely like white structure more right now. I see a lot more potential here. These pieces, I guess, are, at least they have pairs, and at least they're not pawn islands necessarily, because this pair can always get back with this pair with some tricky maneuvering. If the queen wasn't in the way, that wouldn't be too bad. These two pawns are by themselves. That's fine. That's fine. Let's look at some major pieces. We both have our queens. I happen to have my rook, though, so that's pretty cool. And minor pieces, I am definitely ahead. My rook controls this file. My queen is in a fairly good place as well. My knight right now is in a bit of trouble because of this pawn here on c4. But there are a lot of potential places for it to move, although many are very dangerous. And then his queen controls this. Oops, that's not a real diagonal. This diagonal here, and over here. Let me redo that. There we go. So, okay. I'm guessing that this one's going to be just a straight check. And I see the first potential here would be queen to b7, check. And if I do so, because of those two places, the king could only either go here or here. And if he does happen to go here, I see queen to f7, at which point that was dumb. Okay, that first line was wrong too. For some reason, I already thought the rook was there. So queen here, and that would mean that the king can go here, here, here. And with this, so let's just take it step at a time. Let's start with the low square, e6. If he goes e6, then queen f7, checkmate. Okay, so that takes that one off the board. What if he goes e7? Or I mean e8? Again, we would start with queen f7, check. And the only good square for him. The only two squares he can go to are these two squares. If he does come back to e7, because I'm sure the queen to b7 is correct. And I think king to e8 is the strongest move. The question is what happens after that. I can't move my rook up anywhere here when he's on e8 because then he'd just take. That's well, let's continue on with the idea that he does go to e8. Or I mean to d8. Because if he's on d8, we can push this way. We can get the queen here. And he would have to go to d8. And if he goes on d8, what do? We can go over here. He would go over there. Then we could check, but then the pawn would take. So that's not good. That's no good. Oh, here's another idea. What about just rook to f7? Rook f7, he can't go there, he can't go there, he can't go there. So he's forced to go there. So then he goes here, rook's here, queen comes here, check again, he can't go there, and that's checkmate. Alright, well there we go. Oh, I thought he was here. God. So impertinent. Horrible. But now this is checkmate. Well, that's embarrassing. Let's go to the analysis board. Analysis board. Oops. I went back too much. Oh, god damn it. Now I have to do it again. Alright. Let's do that. Do that. Check there. And then checkmate. Okay, so let's go back. And then to the analysis board. Okay. I just want to see how close I am to getting a check. Check in 5, is that what that means? I don't know. Alright, so best move is for him to go there. Check. Move up. check. Makes sense. Move down. Check. Move further down. That makes sense. And then check. You can't go here. And so move there. And then we're getting into very checkmate-ish territory here. That's checkmate. Okay. So even if it had gone the other way, it would have taken a lot longer. But then this line that I saw, of course, I'm not a crazy person there, right? Yeah, that's checkmate. Yeah, the only line that I couldn't account for is if this happened. I mean, the line takes so long to figure out too. I'm not surprised that I wasn't able to figure it out. But yeah, as soon as he gets stuck in here, that's pretty GG. Oh boy. But yeah, that other line was a lot simpler. And then checkmate. Right. And then checkmate. Cool. Well, I think I've embarrassed myself pretty well tonight. I got the last one right, but still, I didn't even, for some reason, I thought the king was here. That was embarrassing. I think I'm pretty tired tonight, but that's still no excuse. My tactics just needs more training. That's what it means. If you guys had fun tonight, I highly recommend that you guys try some tactical training on your own as well. That's wrong as well. Yeah, and see if you guys like it. And if you guys like the video, let me know as well. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.